have fewer kids, and stuff like that. Meanwhile, we know that that is not what the Lord said. You know, but then again, that's what you get for listening to a devil and believing in them too. Right. And, where was I? Right. So it says here, Isaiah 45 and the rest of 18. He formed it to be inhabited. I am Yahweh, and there is none else. I have not spoken in secret, in a dark place of the earth. I said not unto the seed of Jacob, seek me in vain. I, Yahweh, speak righteousness. I declare things that are right. The Lord didn't tell us to seek us in vain, as if like, yeah, you can seek me, but nothing gonna happen to you. You know? No. He told me, seek me with all thine heart. Seek ye the Lord with all thine heart. And it is not in vain. When were the righteous ever abandoned, basically? Let me see. Job 4 and 7. Remember, I pray thee, who ever perished, being innocent? And where were the righteous cut off? No, it's not true. The righteous will never be cut off, because the Lord will always help them. Always. Verse 8. Even as I have seen, they that plow iniquity and sow wickedness reap the same. That's what you deserve. Romans 11 and 26. And so all Israel shall be saved, as it is written. Where? Here. There shall come out of Zion the deliverer, Yahushai, and shall turn away ungodliness from Jacob. 1 Corinthians chapter 15. It shows you that when he comes, he's going to make us, he's going to take away death. And then therefore we will have, Hebrews 10, for example, also, we will sin no more. For this is my covenant unto them. Yeah, Hebrew 10, the new covenant. When I shall take away their sins. Where? Where does it say that? It says that in Hebrews chapter 10. It says, verse 16, this is the covenant that I will make with them after those days, saith Yahweh. I will put my laws in their inward part, in their hearts, and in their minds will I write them, and their sin and iniquities will I remember no more. So we're going to have no sin. Hebrews chapter 8, verse. This is good too, but I want the word new covenant here. Here, verse 8. Hebrews 8 and 8. For finding fault with them, he saith. Wait, let me start it here, man. No, let me see. 6. Hebrews 8 and 6. But now, had he obtained a more excellent ministry, Yahushai, by how much also he is the mediator of a better covenant, Yahushai. Which was established upon better promises, right? For if the first covenant had been faultless, then should no place have been sought for the second. For finding fault with them, with the Israelites, he said, behold, the days come, saith Yahweh, when I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah, which represent the northern tribes and the southern tribes. Not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day when I took them by the hand to lead them out of the land of Egypt, because they continued not in my covenant, and I regarded them not, saith Yahweh. For this is the covenant, new covenant, that I will make with the house of Israel after those days, which is all 12 tribes. Because now you might say, like, hey, wait a minute. It doesn't say the house of Jacob, of Judah. Yeah, now it means the whole 12 tribes. Saith Yahweh, I will put my laws into their mind and write them in their hearts. And I will be to them a power, and they shall be to me a people. And they shall not teach every man his neighbor, and every man his brother, saying, know the Lord, for all shall know me, from the least to the greatest. For I will be merciful to their unrighteousness, and their sins and their iniquities will I remember no more. And that he saith a new covenant. He had made the first old. So he didn't make the first old yet. You damn right. Now that which decayeth and waxeth old is ready to vanish away. Our bodies, the First Testament, it decayeth and waxeth old. Because once we get that new body and that new covenant, then we will be 1 Corinthians 15 and 51. 50. Now this I say, brethren, that flesh and blood cannot inherit the kingdom of Yahweh, neither doth corruption inherit incorruption. Behold, I show you a mystery. We shall not all sleep, but we shall all be changed. 100% of the Israelites. In a moment. Well, not in the beginning at first, because the rest are going to die. The majority of them is not going to make it. In a moment, in a twinkling of an eye, at the last trump, for the trumpet shall sound, and the dead shall be raised incorruptible, and we shall be changed. For this corruptible must put on incorruption, and this mortal must put on immortality. So when this corruptible shall have put on incorruption, and this mortal shall have put on immortality, then shall be brought to pass the saying that is written, death is swallowed up in victory. O death, where is thy sting? O grave, where is thy victory? Right, because the wages of sin is death, and the Lord is going to cause us to not die. Right, and I'm going to leave it at this one, and let me see. Philippians chapter 3, verse 20. For our conversation is in heaven, from whence also we look for the Savior, the Lord Yahushua Mashiach. Who shall change our vile body, that it may be fashioned like unto his glorious body. No more mistakes. According to the working whereby he is able to even subdue whereby he is able even to subdue all things unto himself, including death. Romans 6 and 23. For the wages of sin is death. So if we get that new covenant within us, and the Lord puts his word within us, we will no longer sin, and therefore we will no longer die. Because Yahushua is going to give us new bodies through the power of his heavenly Father, of course, but who shall change our vile body? Who's going to do that? The Lord Yahushua. How? That it may be fashioned like unto his glorious body. What glorious body does he have? Matthew 17 and 1. And after 6 days Yahushua taketh Peter, James, and John his brother, and bringeth them up into an high mountain apart from the rest of the disciples, which would later become apostles. And he was transfigured before them, and his face did shine as the sun, and his raiment was white as the light. So not only did he change his flesh, he changed his clothing too. That's where you get cartoons like this. Let me see. Yeah. That's where you get things like this. Let me see. What does he do? Does he there? No, he doesn't do there. Does he here? Yeah. You see that? That's where you get cartoons like this from. You see this? He changed his clothing too. Who changed their body and clothing also? Let me see. What's that chick name? It's not Medusa. It's what's her name? Mystique. Right. Mystique change. Let me see. She needs to change and then put clothing on. I don't want the movie. I want the cartoon. You see? She changed her clothing too. Where do you think they get that from? Where do you think they get that from? But in the cartoon, she's naked all the time. Sorry, in the movie, she's naked all the time. Not in the cartoon. In the cartoon, she literally changes clothing. From wait, let me see. Spider-Man. Let me see. Symbiote. He changed clothing. Let me see. I want the cartoon again, but I can't find it. Nope. Nope. Well. No, that's not what I want. I want something simple, man. I don't know what the hell is going on. Something is simple. That's what I'm telling you. That's what I'm telling you. Like, they really messed up Google, because like I said back in the days, it was not as hard as it's hard to find this. Wait. Yeah, I kind of find it, but what I was looking for, I didn't find. But then you can kind of see what I mean with this. Basically, change the clothing, so yeah, it's not something special like compared to the other ones that I already showed. So yeah, but the fact that they can change clothing, that is special. But this is a cartoon. But Yahushua did that in real life, and he was transfigured before them. What does transfigured mean? Transform into something more beautiful or elevated. Transform. The transfiguration of Yahushua. He transformed in front of them. Even his clothing turned marvelous. So the Lord is going to give us that. We're going to be like him, do things like him. That's what he said. Right? Because it's the wages of sin is death. Romans 6:23. For the wages of sin, the reward of sin is death. But the gift of Yahweh is eternal life through Yahushua Mashiach our Lord. So yeah, there you have it. This is still a great example. But I want her to change clothing from clothing to clothing, not from nakedness to clothing. But it's good too. I hope you get the image in your head that I'm trying to give you. I'm trying to put it in your head. I know I'm not trying to control you, but I mean, I want to give you an example of what I'm thinking, and this is what I'm thinking. Well, not exactly, because I wanted to change from clothing to clothing, but that doesn't matter. It shouldn't matter, but yeah. The Lord said, "Go," and the earth is created for us to inhabit. But what do they want to do? They don't want that. The forgotten lessons of the American eugenic movements is not forgotten. They just don't talk about it. I'm going to put this link in the description box so you can check it out for yourself. So it says here, Adam Cohen's Amalekite book Imbeciles details how Carrie Buck, just like young Bucky from the Buck family, has been the bud of their, what's it again? Let me see. Damn it, I can't get the name. Wow, I forgot the name. Let me see. Hulk actor. Okay, Mark Ruffalo. Movies. He had a movie. Dark Waters. Yeah. Dark Waters. Real life. And his name was Bucky. Here, Bucky. Is Bucky real? Yes, he is. This is what happened through because of the oil industry. Teflon. But it was the dupe. I see it here. Wait a minute, where is it? Here, Rob Billet. Now, this happened because of the Teflon. His mother was pregnant and working at Teflon. And then this happened to him. Now, his name was Bucky Bailey or something like that. In the gas station, who was played by real life Bucky Bailey. Right. Bucky Bailey. Right. His name is Buck. Got screwed over by these rich Edomites. And then you have here Carrie Buck. They're not related, by the way, because Bucky was his first name and Buck was her last. Was nobody you would have heard of. She was born in 1906. I don't want to read that. Let me read this. It says here how Carrie Buck, shown here with her mother Emma in 1924, came to be a descendant of a Supreme Court case that legalized forced sterilization for eugenic purposes. Right. I'm going to leave the link in the description box so you could check it out for yourself, But these are the practices of what these Edomites are doing and have been doing until this day and are still doing until this day. You might think it's gone, it is not, right? So because back in the days, they didn't allow single parent families in between the Edomites. So they took her and put her in a middle class family. And there, they subjected her to basically slavery. She cleaned their house and was hired out to clean neighbors' homes until at 17, she was discovered to be pregnant because she was raped. She later said he'd been raped by Alice Dubb's nephew, the female that took her in, and treated her like the slave that she deserves to be. Edomites. Yeah, but anyway, that's why the scripture says in the book of Isaiah chapter 14, they've been doing, listen, what I just said, what I just read. They had, in 1924, came to be at the center of the Supreme Court case that legalized forced sterilization for eugenic purposes. 1924, they was already busy with that. You know what I'm saying? So they killed hundreds of millions of billions of people in the progress from before this time until now, 2022. Isaiah 14 and 18, 17. I'll just go to the point. 18. All the kings of the nations, even all of them, lie in glory, everyone in his own house. That's about the time when we will put them back in their own land to rule over their own people, right? And also, basically, they die in glory. Well, glorious compared to them, compared to the Edomites. But this was from the ancient Babylonians, but nowadays it's for the modern Babylonians, which are these Edomites. They are also the modern Egyptians, and the modern Sodom and Gomorrahites. But thou art cast out of thy grave like an abominable branch, and as the raiment of those that are slain, thrust through with a sword. That's how you are tossed out. Because if you have the clothing of a person that is killed with holes in their clothing, you cast it out like an abominable branch. Because if you have a tree, I think it's prune. Why do you prune? It is done to supply additional energy for the development of flowers, fruits, and limbs that remain on the plant. Pruning, which has several definitions, essentially involves removing plant parts to improve the health, landscape effect, or value of the plant. That's why you take out, for example, you see these red things over there, which are all broken up and stuff like that. Then you cut them off. That's basically Esau. And beautifully, this is marked in as red. You know, I didn't orchestrate this. I just typed it in right in front of you. So, the red Edomite devil will be cast out like the abominable branches that they are, and afterward the rest of the heathen nations, which are the trees in the Garden of Eden, for example. This is how they will look after we're done with them. But nowadays they look like this. These Edomites are all in the midst of them. All these nations, they have eaten of the wine of Babylon, the wine of the fornication of these Edomites. And they're going to pay for that too, because you're sitting right there with them committing these crimes, and you're with it because you're getting paid. Cool. Well, you're going to pay too. You're not going to get exterminated like them, but you're going to pay. As the raiment of those that are slain, thrust through with a sword, that go down to the stones of the pit, as a carcass trodden on their feet. That's how you're going to get destroyed. Right? Thou shalt not be joined with them in burial, because thou hast destroyed thy land and slain thy people. This is just one case of the legalized forced sterilization for eugenic purposes. So when you talk about, for example, this, right, it's like when you hear words like neo-feudalism, you'd be like, oh, this is something great. They teach about it, that it's something great and it's something for the near future. But you don't have no damn idea what this means. Well, I didn't. Of course, English words. I didn't even know this word exists until I found out. Fuck, that's what it means? Cool, okay. So, this is one of the reasons why Obadiah chapter 1 and 18 is one of my favorite scriptures. One of my favorite scriptures, let me say it again. Okay. What is neo-feudalism? Feudalism. Neo-feudalism. Uncountable politics. Sociology. The contemporary rebirth of policy of governance, economy, and public life, reminiscent of those present in many feudal societies. Still don't know what it means. Is capitalism turning into feudalism? Still don't know what it means. What is the main concept of feudalism? A feudal system, also known as feudalism, is a type of social and political system in which, check this out, landholders provide land to tenants in exchange for their loyalty and service. You're going to be a slave. That's what it's talking about. So when you see these little fancy words, you have no idea what they're actually talking about. They're talking about that a few selected ones will rule over the rest of the people. That is what neo-feudalism means, right? Neo-feudalism or new feudalism is a theorized comparative birth of policy. Yeah, I already read that. Let me see. Right, I think I lost it. But it actually means that they're going to own things. Let me read here. In his highly influential 1968 book, The Population Bomb, is the thing that I just showed you. I think around here, this book. Yeah, The Population Bomb threatens the peace of the world. No, your peace. Right, Population Bomb. It says here, Paul Ehrlich, whatever, claimed that humanity would breed out ourselves to extinction. If birth rates were not severely curtailed, a widely held Club of Rome report in 1972 predicted massive shortage of natural resources unless there was a shift to lower birth rates, slower economic growth. Hey, 2 years of shutting down stores is a slow economic growth. Birth rates, hey, baby killing things, birth control pills, which also came from the Rockefellers. John D. Rockefeller as one of the fathers of the pill. Sanger as a proponent of birth control was, of course, world famous for as calling John D. Rockefeller one of the fathers of the pill because he supplied that money. Rockefeller's philanthropy and population related fields. That's why you have Population Council. Rockefeller. Here. Population Council. Rockefeller birth control things. And here they also set a population council. Idea, evidence, impact. The idea, they're gonna pitch it. The evidence, they're gonna show you like this, man. It's so many people in there, and the impact what it has to them, because they can't really control so many people, but they have a control over the people. So they came up with this organization called Population Control, and this devil did it. This John D. Rockefeller. They teaching you about these things and stuff like that, which this motherfucker has no fucking idea what they're talking about. But then again, Dow Asia had been a partaker with Babylon. I wanted to say with the lust of Babylon. What was it again? It's 2nd Ezra 15 or 16. Partakers with. 15. With the hope of Babylon, thou art the glory of a person. Right. So, yeah, as you can see right there, Miss Asia giving teachings, and I saw Jake too, an idiot. But then again, these dummies don't know because they're all being fooled. But yeah, the anti-conception pill, all these things they have been doing. Right, so it says here, slower economic growth, less material consumption, because what they want you to do is to stop using so many things, and therefore they have the lower carbon, reduce carbon print, right? Consume local and seasonal projects, forget strawberry in winter, how to limit your carbon footprint. Limit meat consumption, especially beef. Select fish from sustainable fishing. Those are the fish that eat shit and then they have them in a laboratorium. Those are the ones that are sustainable because they can keep them coming up. It's like, because this is not sustainable. Check this out. How are you going to sustain this, and why are you making this? You have seedless grapes inside. Let me see inside. How is this sustainable? How is this sustain? You can't sustain shit. What does sustainable mean? Let me get the word out, because these devils, they use little words, but they mean something totally different because they have a snake tongue. You have to watch out for that. Able to be maintained at a certain rate or level. How the are you going to maintain something that can't grow out of itself? Because if I buy one, let's say I buy a pluck of grapes. Let's say I buy one pluck of grapes, like one for this, one for this, one for this. Let's say there's 25 here and 25 here. I know it's a little bit more. I think, I don't know. I didn't count. 24 says, I think it's more. But anyway, I just say 25. So all three 25. That means I get about, from all three, a tops 20 trees. Maybe 5. Let me just X out 5, because a lot of times when you plant 10 things, 8 might grow. Sometimes 9, sometimes all 10, if you're lucky. But it necessarily doesn't mean that they're all going to grow. So let's say 20. Here grows 20 trees, 20 trees, 20 trees. From these 20 trees, I got about a couple of 100,000 for grapes. For a couple of 100,000 from here, from all the 20 trees that I planted. I know one seed has actually more. I mean, one grape has more seeds. I know that, but I'm trying to make it easy for myself, because I know you can have two, sometimes three. Here you have three. Here, 1, 2, 3. Sometimes you have 3 in one grape. Sometimes you have 2. You might have 4 sometimes. It depends. I don't know. It depends. But I'll just make it easy. Like I said, 20 trees, 20 trees, 20 trees. Yeah, that's about a couple of thousand, couple of hundreds of thousand here, hundreds of thousands here. How is that not sustainable compared to this? They're lying to you, man. You believe in Edomite? You probably set up a dead tree in your house, waiting for this fat guy from the North Pole to come and bless your children in a very wrong manner, a lying manner. Okay, you can think the other one too. That's when you send them around them or send them to church, and then turn your back. I'll come pick you up at the end of the service, honey, and my little bird, my little boy, right? Your daughter's safe. They don't want that. Anyway, sustainable. Able to maintain at a certain rate or level. Able to be upheld or defended. Yeah, whatever. Right. How are you going to sustain this? You can't. Because it's going to dwindle down to nothing eventually if you let it go. So these are